Hey all, this is Ron Coddington from Military Images Magazine. Hope you're doing well. And hey there, this is Ron Coddington from Military Images Magazine. I hope all of you are doing well and have had a great weekend. And looking forward to this week heading into Thanksgiving, kicking off the holidays, and before you know it, we'll have a new year. So I wanted to check in with you today and titled this video 21 Years Later, a Civil War Image Identified. That's the title that I think is probably most descriptive, but another title could have been simply serendipity, because serendipity is the word that I use to describe aptly those moments in time when we who collect Civil War photographs have these incredible, wonderful moments where an image in our collection is something happens to it. It can be identified. We learn something about it that is extremely unique and a moment worth celebrating. So that's why I'm here late in the day. And this special moment, this serendipitous moment for me began with this photograph right here, which was sent to me. This is a photograph of a photograph that was made in 1995. This particular snapshot that we're looking at here, back in the early digital days, before scanners were in wide circulation. Many folks were still using the method of having a 35 millimeter camera mounted over a tripod and laying their original Civil War photographs underneath the camera, taking a picture, and then going over to the local camera slash photo print store or maybe a local drugstore and getting copies made of those photographs. So this is where this particular snapshot comes from. The image itself is a quarter plate ambrotype, and it was purchased in the late 1990s by a subscriber, a longtime subscriber to Military Images, and his name is Bill Gillespie. I've never met Bill in person. I've received a couple of communications from him in the past, and he sent me a package in the post office box. It showed up there a few days ago. And because I had a lot of stuff going on, I didn't have a chance to open the package until today. And when I did, I found a very nice letter from Bill inside, along with these late 1990s snapshots that he had made back in the day of some photographs from his collection. And so what he sent me was really most of it was really quite timely. He sent me a collection of Illinois images, and some of you may know that we're working on an Illinois issue scheduled for sometime next year. I'm hoping for the summer, but that's just a ballpark right now. So he sent me some Illinois images, sent a soldier who is possibly from Georgia wearing one of those classic overshirts slash hunting shirts. Nowadays we call them battle shirts. That was a phrase used a little bit in the during the war. Certainly is much more of a popular term today. So those images he had sent in the package, and then this one, and this is a quarter plate ambrotype. You've got a soldier who is sitting on a drum. He's got drumsticks in his hand. The sling of the drum is laying over one of his thighs. It's a sort of a two-tone color sling, a light color and a dark color. The drum itself is the classic regimental drum with the eagle and the shields, everything that you want to see. Nicely color tinted. The drummer has a distinctive looking face, slightly angular. He has no mustache. He has a beard, and the beard has an interesting a V in the center. It's his little soul patch is down there. And rounding out this image, the backdrop that he's sitting in front of is well painted. You've got looks like barracks in the background. You've got the Stars and Stripes. You have a cannon. Classic scene. So, along with the snapshots and including this image, Bill sent along some printed material. And this particular image, he wrote that he had purchased it from either the family or someone connected with the family. The ID is William S. Peck of the 30th Wisconsin Infantry. And so before I saw the paper with the identification on it, I saw the drum and I saw the soldier's face and I thought, man, he looks familiar to me. And then when I read the piece of paper and I saw 30th Wisconsin Infantry, I thought I put together the 30th Wisconsin Infantry and the drum, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is an image that I have a similar image in my own collection. And so you know how it is for those of you that have been there. I start, going as quickly as I can to find my information. And lo and behold, I get, and maybe I should put them side by side just so that I can let you see the sort of reunification going on here. There's no question that we're looking at the same soldier. And what caught my attention, as I mentioned, was the 30th Wisconsin Infantry and the drum. And so I thought, wow, this is definitely a match. And I went to my notes because I remembered the 30th Wisconsin Infantry. And it turns out that I purchased this carte de visite in August of 2000. So I've had it in my collection for 21 years. And I bought it on eBay because I didn't have a drummer in my collection at that point. And I really thought this was a great photograph of a drummer. You've got, standing, full standing, the drumsticks. The drum is prominently in the foreground. The pose against the column and the drapery is really great. And so I added it to my collection. And as is my habit, I contacted the seller and I said, hey, what can you tell me about this image? And the seller was able to tell me not a whole lot, but he told me that it came out of an album from the 30th Wisconsin Infantry. And I was always a little bit sad because down here at the bottom of the carte de visite is a little X, and it's right under his portrait. And so I have long believed that there might have been a key somewhere. Maybe that key was in the album. Maybe it was on the index of the album page. Maybe there was a piece of paper. I don't know. Or maybe, as often happens, the X just meant, here I am. And there are other images that had the names of the folks on it. Whatever the reason, that X always stuck with me at the bottom on the mount of the carte de visite. And of course, the information about the 30th Wisconsin. Always hopeful that someday I could solve this mystery. And try as I might, I wasn't able to do it, even though on his inside of his infantry horn, you can clearly see the number 30. So I always felt pretty confident that the suggestion from the seller that it came out of an album from the 30th Wisconsin, there was a good chance that it was true, but it could have been perhaps any other state. We didn't know for sure. That is until today, 21 years later, when this quarter plate ambrotype shows up. And so my belief is that what we're looking at here in the ambrotype is in probably an earlier war portrait, slightly earlier war, and this one might be slightly later. I'm not sure that they were made at the same time, but it is possible they could have been. I'm not sure that the backdrops actually line up in terms of the style. So I think we might be looking at different backdrops. But again, I'm reacting, all this happened in the afternoon. So I haven't really spent the time, I haven't really done the digging. But my starting point for further research is to take a closer look at these two backdrops and see if I can connect the dots there. So excited to see where that research goes. I did take a moment to look up the name William S. Peck, and I did find William Samuel Peck, who served in Company D of the 30th Wisconsin. He was a private, did not attain a higher rank during his time in the service. He was born in England and came to the United States in 1854. The source of this information is Find a Grave. I haven't confirmed any of it, but the information that I'm literally telling you comes right off of the site, so it needs to be confirmed, which means that I'm going to wind up going to Ancestry.com. I'm going to wind up going to Fold 3. I'm going to wind up searching newspapers.com. I'm going to go to Google Books and see if I can find some family histories. And then, of course, look in other places, libraries, archives, and other institutions to see if anything turns up. One other detail, some of you know that one of my little things is to get the middle name of the individual. I love getting the full name, and Find a Grave has that too. It's Samuel. So we're looking here at William Samuel Peck. Though this image is with me and the other image is with Bill Gillespie, for all of you tonight, we're able to put these two printouts together to unify these two portraits. Whether or not they were together before I purchased a carte de visite on eBay in the year 2000, I don't know. The fact that this ambrotype was purchased by Bill Gillespie in 1997, and I was able to get the carte de visite in 2000, that difference of 3 years might be a bit of a coincidence, but is a little close together. Maybe the images left the family about that time and eventually made their way to eBay and other sites. I don't know. But at the moment, the truth is I'm just sort of basking in the excitement and the glory of having to been able to put a name to the face of this soldier that I've been wondering about for 21 years. So that's it. Wanted to share that with all of you. Also, I should mention the next issue of MI is very soon to be printed, soon to be dropped in the mail. For those of you who have read the last issue and saw my editor's note about mailing issues, those still exist. So delivery times are going to vary greatly. So even though it will go into the mail in early December, it could be up to a month before you actually receive it. So I know that can be difficult when you hear me talking about the next issue and realizing it could be a month away, but I appreciate your patience. Another wrinkle going on here is because of supply chain issues, and materials being scarce and hard to get to, there's actually difficulty getting the paper that we use for the magazine. Those of you who subscribe know that we use very high quality paper. It has a little bit of a gloss to it. It holds the ink really well. And this paper is now hard to get. So it actually has delayed the printing by a week, which I approved because I refuse to print the magazine on lower quality paper. It doesn't do service to the magazine. It doesn't do service to all of you who subscribe. And most importantly, it does a disservice to these soldiers who their images we're trying to preserve and trying to showcase in the best way possible. So I'm asking for your patience for the mail and patience for paper as this next issue comes together. But I can guarantee you it is at the printer, and my work is done, and hopefully supply chain issues and mail issues will be resolved, and you'll have your issue before the end of December. So that's all I got tonight. If you guys have any questions, please leave comments. You can always email me at militaryimages@gmail.com. If you're a subscriber, you know I appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, go to shopmilitaryimages.com. Use the code GIFT to save some money. That offer is only good for first-time subscribers. Or if you're already a subscriber, you can use gift at shopmilitaryimages.com to get an issue, a subscription for friends. So pick up a subscription for a friend, or if you're interested in Civil War images but have yet to subscribe, pick up one for yourself. So we'll see you here on Facebook. We'll see you on Military Images. Whether you get the print issue or the digital issue, we will see you. We will see you somewhere. So until we see you next, I'm wishing you, your families, your friends a really happy and great Thanksgiving. Take care. Bye.